Here we go. Round 17 review. Carlton, Geelong. The Blues go down 5 goals 14. 5 goals 14. 44 to Geelong, 10 goals 10-70. Evening at the MCG, Saturday night. Very much of the same, to be honest. Not much has changed. It's a very similar, eerie feeling and just another reminder, for me anyway, about what 2021 is, to be honest with you. It's
the same shit. The same shit.
I left that game, I didn't have any strong emotions about that game. Obviously frustrated and disappointed and all of that, but for me it wasn't like diabolical. It was poor, it was unacceptable and the like, but I think my emotions really were left at the door of that GWS game, and I haven't really gone anywhere near there emotionally since. So maybe I'm just protecting myself. But in terms of the whole day, like for me personally, I was with my brother and my sister, brother-in-law. We haven't been together since the Freo game, the first one. So like, I love that. That's just what it is for me. Like that's the best. Yes, we lost and I'm disappointed, but spending that quality family time, that's really, that's what matters to me more than most things. And then, to be able to scream at them and be frustrated at them together is enjoyable. But and I actually did think the game started quite well. I really did. It was good to see Samo get on the board early. It's something I've been really looking out for. I always felt that if he got a goal, if he kicked a goal, got on the scoreboard, it would just maybe spark something within him and remind him, oh, this is what I do now. This is why I was drafted. This is my natural position, and maybe go on with it. And he looked good because he took that second mark and he had that second shot on goal, and unfortunately he missed it. And then there were just a series of misses. I think Walsh missed one. I think Cripps missed one. We were creating chances, and then I just felt it. In the depths of my gut, like, if Geelong get a goal here, it's going to hurt us and we're going to drop our heads. And sure enough, they did. And the first quarter, it was just a story of we didn't take our opportunities and we didn't execute. But I did think that the boys went in there and had a crack. And defensively across the entirety of the game, I thought it was acceptable. It was just when we were punished on transition, which is really the story of the season. Considering moments, or what was it, an hour before the game, we realised that Casbolt's out and Jonesy's out. And Casbolt I didn't mind because I like the idea of, all right, we're gonna, Asava Radigali is gonna have a chance to be a mismatch, but like he's not that much chop. Like I'm happy to take him on. The Geelong fans think he's the next Nick Nat. It's very interesting. And I think that was the right move. Now Jones obviously hurts because he's a key pillar of our defence. But anyway, we move on. The second quarter was a little bit more Geelong, a bit frustrating, but we held on, and we held on defensively, and we didn't let it blow out. And so getting to half time, go downstairs outside, standing around talking about how, we're going okay defensively, we're holding up. And I did take some solace out of that second quarter in the fact that we didn't, it didn't blow out, and defensively we held up, and Geelong could have put us away, but they didn't. And I thought, okay, there's going to be the next momentum swing in the second half where we're going to be able to capitalise, but it just never came. It just never came. And, they're working hard, but they're not working hard enough. They're not. For me, the main thing about that game, it was execution. I think some, or let's say a lot of them worked hard, but some of them didn't work anywhere near hard enough. And I think they think they're working hard enough, but they're not. And I think that's also the story of the season. We've been told, God, they're training hard. Oh, you should see how hard they're training. Just wait. You just wait. But they cannot be training harder than the 17 other clubs. And they don't know that. Because I don't watch the other teams train. And, I'm getting more frustrated recounting the game than what I was when I woke up this morning, to be honest. What do you say? what do you say? It's just a constant reminder of how behind we are. And I'm not a Geelong supporter, obviously, but if you are a Geelong supporter and you happen to be watching this, like, you didn't play well. I don't think Geelong played very well at all. But what good teams do is they have some sort of a structure in place that when they're not playing well, they're able to still grind out a win. And I don't know, that wasn't convincing for me. Like, I looked at that and some of the teams we've played this year, and Geelong are a premiership fancy, but I'm not really impressed with them, to be honest. They're missing Cameron, Duncan, and the like, but like, we're missing a lot more out of our best 22. But look, fair play to them, well done. Very interesting to see Lachie Henderson get the boos that he did. Had a few Geelong supporters get a little bit in their feelings about it. But the fans will feel how they feel, and that's the way it goes. The player of the game. This is a tough one because I want to give it to Jacob Wiedering, but I have to do that taking into account how great Sam Walsh was. Now, Sam Walsh has had 36 possessions and 8 marks and kicked 2 goals, and he's gone at 86%. And so you've got to take that into account, and he was phenomenal. But for me, the context of Jacob Wiedering's game, he's had the 14 touches, the 7 marks and whatnot. The disposals and the stats don't look flashy compared to Sam Walsh. But think about Jonesy's out for the game an hour before, I laid out. Wiedering's on Hawkins, and he is the anchor of the entire defensive, scheme, and he has to communicate it. So I'm going to give it to Jacob Wiedering because I think in the context of what he did, I thought he was, fantastic. And everyone's talking about Sam Walsh, and rightly so, but you've got to talk about Jacob Wiedering's game. That was a very, very impressive performance considering we lost. So, where do we go from here? So my feelings, I'm not, like I said, even on the fan cams last night, I'm not devastated. I think partly because we kind of are not surprised that we lost to Geelong because they're a very good side. However, I sort of feel guilty because it's like, have I lowered my standards now? Am I accepting losses? I don't know. Am I protecting my emotions? Am I just not getting as emotionally invested because they're not getting emotionally invested in games? So why should we? And I don't know. That's a weird feeling. But finals is definitely out of the picture now. So if it's not about finals, it's got to be about pride. And one thing, obviously, spoke to Luke Power this week, and he mentioned about how over the last 2 years we haven't lost by more than our greatest losing margin, which was 34 or 36 points. And so, okay, over the course of 2 years, that's maybe there is something to take out of that. However, we cannot see them give up at any point, and just because the season's over, they can't just put the cue in the rack and lose by 10 goals. I think next week's a big week because it's about pride. If you're not playing for finals, you're playing for pride, in my view. And we have some scores to settle with Collingwood. We can't lose to Collingwood next week. It's the fans just need something. Like I said last week, we need something to latch onto to make sure that we know that they care. And I don't care who plays next week. We're better than Collingwood, and that's the way it's got to be. So it's a big week, and I don't know where we go from here. I don't know how to feel, if that's the honest truth. I'm so disenchanted with 2021. I'm so disappointed with 2021 that I don't know how to feel. And that's just the honest truth. So make of that what you will. The decision makers at the club are absolutely on notice because this is a big, big failure of a year. Massive failure of a year. And we've still got, a few games left, and we're already calling it a failure of the year because it is. It is poor, piss poor season. So there's a lot to answer for, and they've got to get it right. Just got to get it right. We can't afford to have another year where we feel like this. We said that last year and the year before. So whatever. What about you? Like, how did you take that performance last night? Was it poor execution? Was it coaching? Like, what do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments below. We'll chat about it. Talk about something that I haven't mentioned. Obviously, add to what I'm saying. I'm just giving a documentation of what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. So with that, happy Sunday, and we'll do this all again next week. Go the Mighty Blues.